Hi everyone, I'm Natalie, and I will be guiding you through a yin yoga practice. So yin yoga is meditative and physically still, and it focuses on rejuvenating the natural strength and length of connective tissues throughout the body, especially the fascia. So fascia exists sort of like a webbing networked between and among all your organs, muscles, and bones and joints. So to target fascia, we hold the shapes in yin yoga for minutes rather than moments, and without exerting or efforting, and instead letting gravity and time to do the work. This can improve flexibility and joint mobility as you release fascial constrictions, and it's an opportunity to practice calmness in your body and your mind. You might want to gather a few things before you start. Practice on a yoga mat or a rug or carpet, and have on or nearby a long-sleeved, long-panted layer in socks. All of the postures we're going to be doing are either sitting or laying down, and we'll be holding still so your body temperature will drop. A few yoga blocks or substitutes like Tupperware or books could be helpful. You'll also want to have a bolster or a pillow or cushion from your couch or your bed as well. One of the ways yin yoga is most effective is when you're creative, so you can feel free to use these things however is best for you, even if I don't cue it. There's no right or wrong way, as long as you're not hurting yourself. Once you've gathered all your props, we'll get going with our little practice, hitting some highlights throughout the whole body. So we'll begin by settling into our bodies and into our practice with a brief centering. So wiggle and move however you need to find a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit up with the edge of a blanket or on a block beneath you, or sit on your heels or with your legs extended in front of you, whatever seat brings you the most ease. And allow your hands to rest lightly on your legs wherever they are, and your eyes to slowly close or turn downward. Breathe as you usually do, letting your breath be in its own natural rhythm. Be as you are. Be where you are now, and start to become aware of yourself. Notice your body. Feel the comfort of your body in this restful shape. Feel the weight of it on the mat, on the earth. Feel where your body is resting against your clothes, against the ground. Begin to observe your natural breath. Notice how your breath is flowing in and out of your body. Feel the sensations of breath moving in your body. Follow it in your mind's eye from nostril to lung to belly. Then out again, up through chest and through nose or mouth. Breathing in and breathing out. Be completely with your breath for 3 more rounds. Each breath in filling you up deeply, allowing for exploration and appreciation for stillness. And with each breath out, letting go, releasing any expectation, bidding away any sense of striving, effort, or distracting. This is your time. One last deep breath in. And as you exhale, flutter open your eyes. Start to bring some movement in. And we're going to get going straight away with a doozy. So we're going to come to tabletop position on your mat. You'll want to move any props or anything you have out of the way. If you're wearing socks already, you want to go ahead and take your socks off for this next posture. So we'll come to our hands and knees in a tabletop position. And then tuck your toes, reaching back if you need to, so that all 10 of them are in contact with the ground. This might be your pose. This might be too much, so maybe you put a bolster in front of you and take some weight directly off the feet. Rest. You want more, in which case you can start to sit back on your heels, maybe with a block or two underneath your sit bones. Maybe it's somewhere in between those two things, and you can move between a few variations over time. Whatever shape you are in, you want to feel the pulling across the bottom of the foot and the top of the ankle as well. So in order to distract you a bit, I'm going to talk to you for this 2-minute hold. So as you might have picked up on, yin yoga is not meant to always be comfortable. So there's benefit, both physical and mental, in choosing to stay in the stillness of discomfort, despite the urge to move or to leave or to do anything else. And that is the practice. Allow these sensations to be without trying to physically change them from occurring. So as we do this in our yin practice, we develop this for our life. Especially now, stillness, discomfort, and physical aloneness is kind of the deal. So maybe we use this yoga practice today to remind ourselves when these thoughts and these feelings are shouting at us in the stillness and the silence, that at the very center of our being, we can breathe and be okay. The sensations will subside, the discomfort will end, and you are not alone. But your yin practice is about you, so you should try to release any expectations of how you should look or what something is called or what anyone else could possibly be doing, and tune into how these postures make you feel in your body and your soul. Everybody has a different body, and I won't ever know the experience of your body, so experiment and choose what works for you. Generally, if you're feeling the sensation in the target area, then you're doing it right and you're good at yin yoga. That means, that you should listen to your body. So pain is not the intention ever in any type of yoga. Burning sensations, deep twisting, sharp electric like jolts, that's pain. If you feel any pain anywhere, come out of the shape or do something with a prop to change it or choose another pose. Intensity, dullness, achiness, those are things that may be the physical experience. Also, you might have a great capacity for a range of motion in your body. So when coming into yin shape, start at about your 80% level. We want to actively discourage muscular engagement, and that might be hard for you to do, but again, that's the practice. You can always make adjustments to feel more or less sensation over time as you're in a posture. And you might be surprised how different something can feel when you're holding it for 3 minutes instead of 30 seconds. So honor your edges and just let them be wherever you are and be kind to yourself. All right, time is up. So from wherever you are, you're going to gently come back into your tabletop position and slowly untuck your toes. So for a few breaths, just remain in this neutral position. This is called the rebound. And we'll spend a few moments after each hold allowing our body to readjust and allowing the strongest sensations to subside.
Then once they do, you can take another few breaths for any sort of intuitive movement, anything that feels good before we move into the next posture. So from here, it might feel good to wiggle your toes after those sensations subside. Maybe crank your ankles around left or right. Also move through some cat-cows if you want, or any kind of undulating or movement in the spine. You can remove your props from your mat. And then we'll come to our next posture, which will be on our belly. So we'll lay on our stomach with your legs out long behind you. Wiggle your pelvis from side to side and let your feet just kind of naturally go wherever they want to go. I gotta move some stuff from my space. And then you want to kind of have your shoulders, your elbows kind of tucked under your shoulders, wherever they want to go that's most comfortable, so that you're sort of resting on your elbows. If you need to put some padding underneath your elbows, then you can do that. And then once you're here, you want to be in a posture so that your shoulders actually relax down your back, and you actively want to not engage the back line of the body. So if this means you have to kind of tense everything up and then just sort of relax into it, go ahead and do that now. So the wild card here, to be able to feel the back bend, is this front part of your body. So if you're not feeling sensation here, that bending compression in the lower back, then you can raise up your lower where you need to. So you can add a bolster underneath. You can also add blocks underneath here. Again, remember, we're going to be here for a couple of minutes, 3 minutes in this posture. So start at about your 80% capacity, and then see how that changes over the time that you're in this hold. You can rest your head however you want. Head can come down. You can put a block underneath. Yin yoga is really fun because you can like build little towers and little structures and things. Sometimes nice to just rest your head on a block. If you're feeling way too much compression in your lower back in this posture, coming down and resting your head. This is also a back bend. You're still getting the same benefits of compression. So just find any level in between any of these things that works for you. So keep breathing in and breathing out. Maybe you close your eyes. And start to settle into the pose. You can always make any adjustments throughout the hold, minor or major adjustments to your posture to be able to keep sensations alive and at the level that you want. And then once you make any adjustments, again, take a breath or two to kind of settle in, and then find stillness in that shape. as we come to the end of the hold, just very gently and carefully release any props that are underneath the front of your body, and then either come to a neutral position, lying with your chest on the ground, head resting on your hands. Maybe you push back into a quick child's pose, and then in that neutral position, again, find stillness for a few breaths. And then once the strongest sensations have started to subside, you might want to move through a couple rounds of cat-cow, maybe transitioning between any variations of those things, anything to just sort of wake your body back up and get moving again. So from here, we're going to move into whatever our easy seat was that we started with. That we started our practice with. So from your easy seat, just sit up tall. Keep your spine nice and long. Rest your right hand on your thigh and then place your left hand underneath your left butt cheek. So this holds the shoulder down so that we can feel stretching in the neck when we move the head without the shoulder wanting to get too excited and come and play. So then what you'll do is you'll gently drop your right head, your right ear towards your right shoulder, away from your tucked hand, to then feel the pulling down the side of the neck and possibly along the top of the shoulder. You can sort of play, shaking or moving your head a little right to left, chin up and down, to be able to feel the sensation of pulling that you want to feel on this side. Again, as you sit here, just relax your shoulders back, let your head be heavy, and just take a breath or two to settle in, and then find the stillness at the pose. Using the free hand, your right hand that's resting, gently help your head to move upright, and then we'll move immediately to the other side. So untuck your left hand, rest your left hand on your legs, take your right hand, tuck it over, take it under your right butt cheek, and then gently start to tip your head to the left, ear towards the shoulder, chin in or chin out, head turned in or out, shoulders relax, jaw unclench, and just feel the stretch on the right side of the neck, maybe along the top shoulder. And we'll hold here for 2 minutes, breathing in and breathing out.
Again, use your free hand to gently guide your head upright. And then untuck your right hand and just sort of pause in this neutral position. Sit here for a moment as the strongest waves of feeling wash over you. And then take a moment to counter that stillness with some movement, maybe some head rolls, large, round, in the opposite direction, and maybe some big shoulder rolls or shrugs, one way or another. We'll stay seated for our next posture, but then we'll bring our legs to extend out in front of us. So choose to do this posture either with your legs just extended out, or you can have the soles of your feet together if that feels good for you. So once you come to whatever your position will be, again, remember we're not efforting, so just kind of let your legs fall wherever they want. You'll do what your mama told you not to do, and you'll just sort of slouch back. So for this position, we want a really rounded spine. So with our spine rounded, then just kind of start to fold forward over your legs. Again, we're not grabbing, we're not using the muscles, we're just kind of letting our body kind of fall. And then what we'll do is we'll just use kind of keep us in this position. So you can use a block to rest your head on. You can also use a bolster, or you can stack blocks if you want to do that. If you're in any kind of variation and it doesn't feel good to have kind of things like hanging, if you're feeling like you need to effort to keep things from hanging and to actually relax, then you can tuck blocks underneath your knee or bolsters or towels. Anything that will let you just kind of be still in here and not use your muscles and not kind of grip and hold, but instead just sort of relax down and into the pose. So we'll be here for 3 minutes. Take a couple breaths to figure out what your pose is going to look like at the start, knowing that you can always adjust throughout the time that you're in holding, and you can always come out of any pose anytime you want to. So just start to breathe. 3 minutes. Slowly and carefully start to carefully roll to sit upright. If your legs are in butterfly, you can extend them forward and moving any props. Sit back on to your hands or roll all the way onto your back, and then again find a few moments of stillness
resist the urge to flap your legs or to shake, and instead just let the sensations kind of wash over you. After a few breaths, as they start to subside, then take the time for some intuitive movement, shaking your legs back and forth. Maybe an arch forward might feel nice. Maybe you want to windshield wipe your legs. Anything that feels good. So if you're there already, go ahead and lay flat on your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor and knees kind of pointing straight up to the ceiling. Then you'll cross your right ankle over your left knee to make a figure four shape. So your top leg can be however wide or narrow it needs to be. It can be a very tight four, it can be a very open four, whatever feels good for your body. And then either keep your left foot rooted on the ground, or you can start to raise it up and rest it on a block or some other prop to start to feel the pulling across your right glute. So the one that's crossed over is where you want to feel the pulling along the outside of that hip along your butt. Remember again to let your left foot rest and let your right leg that's crossed over just kind of be heavy. If you need to change the cross of that leg so that you don't have to use muscles to keep it there, then do that. Find some different variation. You can also experiment. For me, I'm seeing that this closet door looks kind of nice, so maybe what I can do is just sort of rest here in this position. That takes away some of the efforting that I'm having to do. I can also cross my leg a lot more, and then I change where exactly in the glute I'm feeling that sensation, but it takes away any sense of striving to keep that leg crossed. And then again, play with however you want sensation to be. Raising this left leg, this left foot is going to increase the sensation. So again, I'm taking the opportunity here. Maybe you do something with this. You can increase sensation with the wall. Again, just take a couple minutes to play and see what feels best for you to feel that pulling on that right glute. So this is one in particular where you might need to make some adjustments throughout the time to keep the sensations alive. So, experiment with where that cross is. Maybe it's not exactly in line with your hips. So make any adjustments throughout the time to be able to keep feeling that sensation. So from wherever you are, go ahead and put your left foot back on the ground, take it off any props, and then uncross your right leg. And we'll move immediately to the other side. So from this position with both feet flat on the floor, knees bent, you'll then cross your left ankle over your right knee. And then to feel the pulling along that left glute, you'll start to raise up your right foot. Rest it on a block, on any other props against the wall. Your right and your left hip will most likely be very different. So the shape that you take to get that sensation on this side is probably going to be really different, or could be very different from what you took on the opposite side. So, that's just how it is. So do whatever you need to do on this side to be able to feel that sensation. Again, knowing that you can make any kind of adjustments throughout the time that we're holding this, which was 3 minutes. So carefully remove any props from your space and then uncross your legs and come to be in a neutral position with both feet grounded, knees toward the sky, and just take a few breaths here in stillness before you take any kind of intuitive movement. Again, a windshield wiper the legs might feel good here. Any variation of happy baby. Anything else, any kind of stretch or pulling that you need, just take a couple rounds here to move and play. And then our final position will stay laying on our backs. So extend the legs out long. And then from here, we'll we will come back to this position with our knees bent. And then from here, you'll actually push into your feet and then just sort of bring your hips over to the right side of your mat before then extending your legs out long. So we're kind of on the right side here of our mat. And then from here, we'll start to walk our left feet to the left side of the mat. So just sort of keeping your pelvis where it is, just sort of shimmy both your feet over to the left side. And then once your feet are there, you might want to lock them in place with the cross right or left ankle on top. And then arms overhead, and then you'll start to sort of shimmy your upper body a little bit over to the left so that now you are in a banana. You should feel the pulling along the whole right side of your body, just a really nice stretch on that lateral side body. And then we'll hold here for 3 minutes. Feel free to release the bind or to keep anything unbound if that feels better for you.
If you're feeling a lot of pinching in your waist, you can raise yourself up a little bit with any kind of prop. Just kind of tuck in there to take some of that pinching sensation off so that you can feel the pulling along the right side. Move any props or anything that you have on your space out of the way. And then slowly shimmy your upper body and then your left body or your lower body to meet it, to just kind of come back to neutral. Both feet plant knees to the sky, and then press in and shift your hips over now to the left side of your mat before extending your legs out long. Then again, we'll start with the lower body, so just sort of shimmy both of your feet over toward the right side of your mat, keeping your pelvis grounded. Then arms overhead or somewhere near your shoulders, and then start shimmying your upper body to again make this banana shape. It's just fun to say banana. Cross either the right ankle on top or the left ankle on top if you'd like. You can bind your hands, grab opposite shoulders, or just keep the arms kind of cactus shaped. There are ways you can play with the wall, which I'm kind of feeling right now, that depending on how you put yourself next to the wall, you can sort of increase that stretching by using the wall as leverage. So feel free to experiment with whatever you have around you. And then once you've played for a couple of breaths, find what your posture is going to be, and then start to settle in for the 3-minute hold. feeling the pulling in the entire left side of the body. Release any binds or crosses that you have. Slowly start to bring yourself back towards center. And then pause for a few moments here in stillness. Take a few breaths. Come back to neutral. And then feel free to take any last movements you want to make before we find our way to Shavasana to end our practice. So, anything you need to be more comfortable for the next few minutes, anything under your head, under your knees, extra layers as we're here in stillness. Socks might be nice, anything to cover your eyes, get a little weight on your belly or your temple area. So come into whatever your resting position is going to be. Kind of shake it all out for a moment. And then breathe in, fill up completely with all the benefits of the practice for today. And then exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. One more deep breath in, filling up completely, fully expanding. And then exhale, sigh it out. Rest. Shavasana. head moves from left to right, up and down, slowly starting to reawaken. Reach your arms overhead and your toes in the opposite direction. Big, good stretch, extending out long. And then hug knees into chest. And maybe you roll to your right or your left side in a sideline child's pose. Pausing here for a moment. Head resting on your arm. Before pushing up to find your seated position at the front of your mat. Keeping your eyes downcast or closed. Find a seat. And we'll breathe one more time together. As we inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms together, down to heart center. Take another moment of gratitude for your body, for your practice. We'll seal it now. Chin bowed toward your chest. The light in me honors the light that is each and every one of you. Be well.